Hi, I'm Margaret Lewin and welcome to Margaret Lewin Quilting. Today we are going to be putting together this block, which is part of Natalie's quilt. And here's the picture of what Natalie's quilt looks like. The kits are available on my website if you would like one, but this is how the block looks. Today we're going to work on this block, which is our cat's cradle block. So stay tuned and I'll show you how I put it together. We started this quilt along in October and it's going to last all the way to the end of December. What you should have done at this point is your 2 patches and your 4 patches. We did that on October 1st or 2nd, I think. So today let's make our cat's cradle block and then we can put our blocks together. What you're going to need for your cat's cradle block is a cat's cradle ruler, and this is the cat's cradle ruler. This is actually a ruler made by Creative Grids, and the designer of it is Deb Heatherly. On this ruler, it tells you all of the cutting instructions for whatever size block that you're making, and we're going to end up with a 4-inch finished. So for that, we need to cut 2 2 3/4 inch prints. We need to cut 2, here's one and the other one, 2 3/4 by 3 3/4 inch of our background, which ours is the white, and then 1 5 by 6 inch of our printed fabric. Okay, once you've done that, the first thing that you're going to do is take these 2 pieces and sew them to the ends of the white strips. Simple 1/4 inch seam across, right? Once you've done that, open them up and press them towards your print, please. Once you've done that, you're going to take them and flip that block right around, all right, and sew these 2 together right down that long sleeve. And you're going to end up with, I'll show you what it looks like because it's going to look a little different for us. This is what your block looks like when you get to that point. But I want you to notice one of the things that I've done. I have clipped it right here because you're going to want to sew this in or press this in, and these 2 in. So it's kind of important, it'll make it easier down the line if you're able to press both of these in, all right? Then you're going to take this and you're going to add that to your 5 by 6 inch piece, just like that. Then you're going to take your cat's cradle ruler. Now this is where it gets really cool. This cat's cradle ruler tells you exactly where to do everything. So on here, right here, it says place on seam, make sewing line. So I'm going to place the solid line on the seam of my little block, and then what I do is just take my friction pen and I'm going to draw a line. I'm going to turn that around and I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to place it on my sewn line, and then I'm going to draw a line. Once you've done that, your next step is to sew. And I think you can see I've sewn on the line. It's not to the right or the left of the line this time. It's right on the line. Once you've done that, now we're going to cut it. What we're going to do is take our regular ruler and we're going to place it on that line, right on our sewing line, and we're going to trim it. There's 1, and here is 2. So now I have my 2 cat's cradle blocks. The next thing that I need to do is press my seams towards my printed fabric. So I've done that. They're both pressed towards this fabric. The last step is I need to square these both up. So I'm going to grab my cat's cradle ruler again, because this is going to help me square this right up again. And I'm going to see this V here. I'm going to take that V and I'm going to line it right up, right in the very point of that. The other thing I'm lining up is right down here. In the third place that I'm lining up is, just a second, I got to get a little bit better. All right, so I line up here at the point, I line up here at the seam, and then I line up right here. And I'm just going to trim. Okay. Now once I've done that, I'm going to rotate my block. I'm going to line up here, my point down here, and right across here. So I can again just trim this thing right up. And now I have my 4.5 inch block that's all ready. So let's do the second one. So we'll do it one more time. Take your block and you're going to line up this 4 inches right here. You're going to line up this line. So this is my very first trim. Lining it right up. And I'm lining it up down here too. Okay. 1 cut, 2 cuts. I'm nice and trimmed. I'm going to rotate it. And I'm going to do that again. I'm going to line up here, here, and right across this seam line here. I'm going to trim and trim. So now it's time to put our cat's cradle block all together. Here are my 3 rows ready to go together. So make certain when you put this block together that your white polka dot is in your upper left hand corner and your lower right hand corner. The other thing that I want to show you is that on this one, if you do your seams, if you press the cradle to the inside, this will nestle together very nicely, so it'll make it very easy to keep your points. On this one, I pressed it out and I shouldn't have, because now I'm not going to be able to nestle it. But I'm going to now put these 3 rows together, and then our cat's cradle block will be done. All right, so here is my Natalie's quilt block, which is all done. So your next job to get done is to get all of your cat's cradle blocks done and start putting your blocks together. And it won't be long, and we'll be moving on to our next block. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you're having a great day, and I'll see you again really soon. Don't forget, on Sundays, I go live here on YouTube. Don't forget to post your pictures of your Natalie's quilt over on our Facebook page, which is Margaret Lewin Quilting. And there might just be a little bit of a sneak peek of a surprise that I've got coming up for everybody in January. So don't forget to go out to Instagram and see what you find. Just might be a little surprise there waiting for you. So little glimpses of what's to come. So again, thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you again really soon. Bye.